Is behind bars after the FBI says they caught him with hundreds of explosives. The FBI says 36-year-old Brad Kenneth Spafford had more than 150 explosive devices, saying this is one of the largest collections of explosives seized by the FBI in history. Authorities arrested the Isle of Wight County man 2 weeks ago on December 17th. Listen to this. Court documents say Spafford first landed on the FBI's radar in January 2023 after a neighbor reported Spafford lost 3 fingers on his right hand.
So, Brad Spafford, 36, he was on FBI's radar for about a year. I can't believe it that the media put it out there, but they're saying a neighbor is the one that informed the FBI. And I'm like, that's not good, because if I'm the neighbor, I'm thinking, wow. Why would I say that? Well, people, they're trying to get the guy out of jail. Okay? But I digress. This guy had an arsenal. It's a big world we live in, people. It's a big country. And these are uncertain times. For the life of me, I don't know why anybody would do this, but people do this type of thing. I had mentioned in a video, I believe yesterday, that the military guy who ran his truck down, what was that, Bourbon Canal Street in New Orleans, that it's one thing to try to prepare for a drone strike or a weapon, or a truck can be utilized as a weapon. But there's some things that we have not dealt with in America in a while that happens just about every month overseas, and that is backpack weapons. Believe it or not, this guy had that. Now, I want to segue into something else because I want to ask a question. This is the headline. Let me put it out here because I don't want to show certain things. This is the headline. The largest one. I want you to think about the timing of it. Life has a rhythm, a season, and a cycle. Why now? Why would this guy be making this up now? Okay? Now, this gentleman here, I introduced him yesterday. His name is Brandon Briggs. Brandon Briggs. He prophesies. He prophesied with accuracy the New Orleans situation. People always tell you, try the spirit, pray, watch, discern. I don't know him, but I'm utilizing what he's saying to make a point. But again, you watch. Just because a person say they feel the Holy Ghost and start speaking in tongues, you still need to watch. Okay? But I digress. This gentleman says now he has another warning, another prophecy, another dream, however you want to couch it, from God. That from what he's saying this summer, Washington, D.C., Trump locations, which includes hotels and golf courses, basically saying they need to be on high alert because lone wolves are out there. Lone wolves. And you have to ask yourself, does this guy fit that bill? Does he fit that? And again, look at the timing of it. Did anybody supply him with it? Is he a former armor person, or he just figured out how to make it? I don't know. But again, look at the timing of it, because again, Brother Brandon Briggs is saying that God gave him a vision that we're going to have a bigger situation than in New Orleans. That it would reach even the capital. It's deep. You got to watch this video. You got to watch it. Last days, praying warning, the Lord showed me another major attack coming, and we must stop it through prayer. That's what he's saying. I believe in prayer. I believe in fasting. I believe in praying. People, what's really going on? What kind of world are we living in? Let me say this to you guys. I've touched on it before in different aspects. People, America's hands are not clean. Not by a long shot. America's hands are not clean. I'm not saying I don't love the country. I'm not saying I want to go anywhere else. But the reality is that we got blood on our hands, people. In my humble opinion, from my research over 40-something years, we have catered to the poverty of nations, the destabilization of nations. Countries' economies have collapsed. Alleged possible overthrow of countries and nations. Got to check out that guy. I talk about him every now and then. That book, Economic Hitman. Check it out. Check out the book, Economic Hitman. You can watch it. You can watch it here on YouTube. People, our hands are not clean. It's a shame. Look, people, when I first started studying geopolitics, I hurt. I had never hurt that before. I think God wanted me to feel that international pain as well as the national pain. We got people who are globalists, who have had the intent since the founding of our country to go into other countries, financially, politically, and militarily, and socially, and other areas I can't even talk about. And like, again, destabilize it. And America, I hate to tell y'all, but it's our turn. You reap what you sow. I'm not saying don't pray. I'm just telling you got to keep it in context. A lot of us were oblivious. They kept it hid. They kept it hid. Trillions of dollars of land, of resources and money has been gobbled up like Pac-Man by America and her allies. And we are over here. A lot of us have no clue. And those of us who did try to expose it, either over there or as drugs were coming over here, we try to do our due diligence. Guess what? We paid a price. You probably heard about different journalists who were exposing stuff and the connection between, our government and drugs over here. I can't think of the brother's name, but you fill in the blank. You know who I'm talking about. There was a journalist back in the day who was exposing stuff, and he wound up having 2 slugs in his head. People, our hands are not clean. So whether there's someone giving you a prophecy about something coming, baby, don't be surprised is what I'm saying. Don't be surprised. God has set something up on the planet. It's as simple as reap what you sow. And reap what you sow ain't going to be fair. Many times what come down on a generation, that generation might be squeaky clean. It's the sins of your forefathers and your foremothers. And baby, that's where we at. So I got perspective. I want you to have perspective. That's what we're looking at. And by the same token, I'm not naive to not think that some of this in part is planned by the powers or allowed by the powers. Because like I said, fear is Satan's currency. And when you mix it all up together and stir it up, the bottom line is that they can use that to do what? Push us into less freedoms and then eventually push us into a one world system, which that is their goal. But this gentleman here, man, have I played the tape? Let me just play the tape, then we're going to go from there, okay? Check it out.
His vest on in the front cab of the truck. Vest on. And they had explosives on these vests. And there was 2 men in the truck. And they took the truck and they used it to go through police barricade and military barricades. in Washington, D.C. And when they did this and they tried to stop them because they were trying to do it at a checkpoint to stop them, they pushed through the barricade because the truck was very strong. And then they got them, they surrounded them, and they ignited their vest, and they took out everybody. And when this happened, it was a massive crater in the dirt, in the ground, and all the buildings.
Did you hear that? I had no idea, that this video was up yesterday when I said what I said, that devices on a backpack on your chest. But the Holy Spirit led me back to this guy, and I went through some things last night. Then I just went to bed because, again, I'm still fighting this cold. So I'm trying to do my due diligence. But people, tell you, it's going to take some grace and mercy beyond the norm, some fasting and praying throughout the norm without, look, people. That's why the Bible calls it Mr. Babylon. This man, when he starts talking about what God showed him, he talks about all this fertilizer that was bought in secret. These big vans. You know those big vans? I guess they call them cargo vans that can hold 16 to 18 people. He said they bought these vans. And what he said is that this is like a situation from the past. I erased it. I forgot what city it was, but there was he likened it to a city where something had happened in the past. I can't think of the name. I'll have to put it in the description, but he likened it to a moment in history where this happened historically, where somebody took a U-Haul truck and it exploded a bomb. Okay, let me see if I can pull this up. Historically, U-Haul truck purchase where there was a bomb placed inside. I cannot think. Oklahoma City bombing. That's what he said. Oklahoma City bombing. He said the Lord showed him it was like that, but much more. It's deep, people. This video here is deep. Imagine, let me tell you exactly what he said. He said there were 10 cities on the list. 10 cities. Okay? Mostly in relation to getting back at Trump, because Trump had unalived one of their leaders back in the day. Oh yeah, the documentation is crazy. Back in the day, Trump unalived a leader. See if I can pull this up. My mind just going to different stuff. Let me see here. Trump had unalived a leader. Let me see. Trump sent drone strike January 2020 to Iran. It is right there. Thank God for my memory. Like I said, I did this research last night and I got disgusted. People, look, because of my age and because of what I know, and because I used to study this stuff like nobody's business back in the day, America got blood on their hands. See, America, we grew up with John Wayne, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Rocky Balboa and all that. Man, Clint Eastwood. Baby, that's Hollywood. Overseas, they don't play the same game we do, man. When they get down, they talk about, what's it called, jihad? They put a bomb on themselves and walk up in there and take somebody out because they believe they're going to heaven. But this is who Trump took out. This guy right here. And the thing about it, let me show you the image. This guy. Where is he at? Yeah, there he is there. Trump took this guy out back in the day, in January, I believe, of 2020. Okay? Now, the thing about it is, this guy said the Lord showed him his face. I told you the video deep. He said the Lord showed him his face, and the people said, we have not forgotten about what y'all did, particularly Trump. And the vengeance is coming. He said it's 10 cities where they have underground tunnels. Understand what I'm saying? And they have an average of 100 men who are trained to carry out the next move. And he said sometime this summer. I'm just telling you what the man is saying. He's saying pray against it. Paper, it's deep. It's deep. Now, I showed this thing, Leave the World Behind. I'll segue into this. Remember in Leave the World Behind, we saw these white cars, these Teslas. All of a sudden, they just started going crazy with nobody in them. Started hitting everything. Julia Roberts is yelling to her husband, get in the car, get in the car. He didn't know what was going on. Remember that? These white Teslas, people. Well, think about it like this. That was a white truck in front of Trump Hotel where that Cybertruck exploded. And in New Orleans, there was a white truck also. To me, it couldn't have been the same truck. Okay, because the time sequence is different. I can't see it. But be it as it may, Trump did some damage overseas back in the day, people. And this man is saying what God is showing him. He said they order all this fertilizer. He said they order these big cargo vans. And they're going to have these explosives in strategic places around America when all this stuff go down. And he said they got this big truck. He said it's so big that they're going to roll down in Washington, D.C., and they're going to get past the barricades, and they're coming after them. That's basically what this man is saying. People, I believe in warning. I believe in praying. I'm also a realist. We are just... You know, it's unfortunate that the good people who ain't got nothing to do with this, that we're suffering through this. That's straight up. I'm looking at my notes here. Give me a second. Yeah, people. Brandon Biggs. Brandon Biggs is his name. Last days. Type it on YouTube. That's what he prophesied. You can believe him or not. However, do you believe in him or not? Hey, that's your personal choice. Like I say, try the spirit. The bottom line is this is what he's saying. The man's been pretty accurate. This is not a good time. But I'm putting the warning out there because when I think about what he's saying in relation to what this man did and had, okay, it kind of line up because he had all these explosives and backpack explosives. And that's exactly what this man is talking about. That's why I tied it in. Now look at this here. I reference this every now and then. This is December 22nd of 2012. A Rough Guide to Hell, Economist magazine came out. I brought it up yesterday that this flying guy, there's a bandana on his head. Believe it or not, it says Hamas on his head. Hamas flying to go after Israel. This is predicted 11 plus years ago on, just like Brandon is prophesying. I guess you can call this Economist magazine a prophecy because it came true. But what I want to get into is this. Look at America falling over. Look at the Capitol or the White House tilted over. Look at all this. So is all this in concert with the prophecy that God allegedly is showing him? I got to go there because if I had the knowledge, I might as well show it to you. What's really going on here? Because so far, this Economist magazine has been pretty accurate. It predicted this. Hamas going after Israel. Come on, man. Look at all the major players in the world here. And like I said, Obama's on a pride boat going under the canal, which to me, canal means new birth. Something new's coming. But before it comes, the old has got to be destroyed. Look at that. America's on her back. America's on her back. Look, it says greed. Look, all the buildings are toppled. Are these not signs and wonders of Matthew 24, Daniel 9:7, Old Testament prophecy? I guess it all lines up, don't it? Let's go. Now, this is what I was looking for earlier. Oklahoma City bombing. This was a similar situation back in the day. The Oklahoma City bombing was a domestic terror. I don't want to say that word. A T-truck. Hold on a second. They utilized a truck, people. A domestic truck. Okay? They used it. I think that was under the, who is that? Clinton administration, I think it was. But yeah, read about this, people, and you'll see what the man is talking about. Timothy McVeigh. Serious, people. This literally happened back in the day. This is what happened. This is what happened. This I remember as if it was yesterday. I believe they rented a U-Haul truck and boom. This is crazy, people. This is crazy. That's him. That's right there. It's crazy. Lone wolves. And this is what this guy's saying. This gentleman's saying. He said lone wolves are out there. But he also said that the vengeance from Trump taking out that one leader back in the day is coming. I know it's a lot. Now check this out. The date on this is very important. This happened on April 19th, 1995. If you take April 19th, 2025, the anniversary, that'd be what? 95, 30 years ago? Wow. Versus yesterday when his video just came out, the difference is 3 months and 16 days. 316 is the number of sacrifice. Jesus laid down his life in sacrifice. How does that come out? Coincidentally. Isn't that something? Oklahoma situation versus the day he just put this video out comes out to exactly 3 months and 16 days. Wow. Now, let's segue into this. The powers don't do anything major without coding, okay, to me. Yesterday, well, 2 days ago, U.S. VP Harris swears in the new senators. That's part of what a vice president does. And as she was doing this, she didn't quite say in sequence the Pledge of Allegiance. So give a listen to this.
Please join me in pledging allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Critics to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Critics were quick to pounce on the omission. Donald Trump Jr. shared the video on X, while Vice President-elect J.D. Vance was seen smiling during the ceremony. A former campaign aide of President-elect Donald Trump claimed America had dodged a bullet. This was not the only moment from the event that went viral on social media. The cameras also caught banter between the vice president and independent candidate Bernie Sanders, where Harris jokingly asked the member to stand still. Sanders, who's an
Now,
turkey neck giving away your aid?
Now, people, you guys have been with me long enough. To me, you got to see through the game. The Pledge of Allegiance. The words of the Pledge of Allegiance adopted by Congress on June 22nd of 1942 are familiar. But most Americans probably don't know the history of those words and the changes they have gone through over time. Look how they used to do it back in the day. Look how their hands are positioned. So that's June 22nd, 1942. Watch this. Her birthday, Kamala Harris, is October 20th of 2024. That was her last birthday. Yesterday's event was 1/3/2025. The difference, people, is 75 days. What's the 75th day of the year? The 75th day of the year is March 16th, 316. Remember, I just showed you 316. That's sacrifice, isn't it? It's deep. But remember, what did this person say? This person said that we dodged a bullet. People, that's not a good saying. America dodged a bullet. That's what was reported. Okay? Watch the words. Now, we already got 316 again, right? Now check this out. If we take October 20th, her birthday, 2025, her next birthday, versus July 4th, 2025, America was founded on July 4th. The difference there is 316. Why are these 316s? Then look at this here. Literally. Pledge of Allegiance, Vice President Kamala Harris, January 3rd, 2025. That comes out to 254 in reduction, 254. The 254th day of the year is 9/11. Does that sound like dodging a bullet to you? That's deep, ain't it? I know, look, I know it's deep. I took it literally. Pledge of Allegiance, Vice President Kamala Harris, January 3rd, 2025, comes out to 254. The 254th day of the year is 9/11. When you put it all together, between this guy and this guy prophesying, come on, man, what's really going on? Then here it is here. March 4th, 1789. That was the first time senators were sworn in. March 4th, 1789. Take March 4th, 2025, anniversary, versus yesterday when she stumbled over the Pledge of Allegiance, 1/3/2025. The difference is 8 weeks and 4 days. Who was born August 4th? Barack Obama. What do you think, people? We about to catch some hell? My name is Friendship Pearson. If you find it interesting, let me know. Our hands aren't clean. All I can say is, come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. Please subscribe, thumbs up, support the channel any way you can, even if it's just prayer. I have Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, and PayPal. I also have a post office box. You can check it out in the description. When you go to my site, all you have to do, really, when you go to Friendship Blue, you click here on my face, and then just click on more. Click on more. And everything you need to support me is right there. I have Friendship Pearson. I have, what do you have? Venmo, Zelle, Cash App, everything's right here. So I appreciate it. God bless. Just click on the link. Guys, have a great day.